We'll be doing an interview with Nickey Carnley, who is a candidate for sheriff of Covington County, in about 2 minutes. But this gives you time to join us here on the radio station, although this will be videoed and posted on WOPP. And then, of course, I hope Nickey will post it on some of his stuff. I'm pretty sure he will, because I'm sure he's going to say some good things. But we're about a minute and a half away from our actual conversation. We can actually cut that part off if we need to too, but I think it gives people time to watch it, so they want to watch it. Then we're on Ustream here. We got a couple of viewers on it already on our website. See a few. Good. And you can take that tape and do something with it. I don't know how to do it. Oh.
You got to get a teenager up here.
We're trying to go on the, some other kind of streaming, and then we're working a deal with the cable TV here to do video on it, 6, 10, 12. I'm trying to buy the other radio station. I've offered them the money. They haven't gave me a yes or no. And also trying to work a deal on Channel 25. So I got a few things going on.
Oh, that's great.
And hey, if it falls together, it'll be man up above, because Robert ain't got enough sense.
Well, you think they're gonna let you air on the local, what we call TV6?
Yeah, got that kind. But right now they got a $3,000. They want me to charge $3,000 a month. I won't do that. But I got the head knocker coming here Friday. I mean the CEO of the whole company. Rick's done that for me. So Ricky is a pretty good old boy.
Right now.
3 times a lady, and that is Commodores here on WOPP. And good morning, Nickey Carnley.
Good morning, Robert Booth, and good morning to your listeners and your viewers as well. I thank you for having me on.
Well, we're glad to have you on here. An old friend of mine, and this ain't his first time on the radio. As chief, I had him on numerous times.
Well, it's been a while since I've sat in the hot seat, as I call it.
Yeah, but I tell you, we're old friends. We go to church together. I know his brothers. Knew his dad, and I guess the family gathered. Know mom, and me know his father-in-law quite well. And guess County, definitely a Covington County-an, aren't you?
That is very true.
And you're concerned about Covington County.
I'm very concerned about Covington County, Robert. And there are some issues that need to be addressed that are not being addressed. As you know, I left the City of Wopp Police Department in 2012, took my retirement. Tried something in the private sector, didn't work out because I have a heart, a passion for law enforcement, so I appreciate the individual giving me that opportunity. But so it just wasn't my thing.
Wasn't your cup of tea.
Very true, but then Walt Merrill called me.
Yeah.
And I said, I've got a task for you. I've got something I need you to do for me. So I agreed to do that, which then, after completing that, he says, you want to work part-time? Because you're retired, you can't work full-time. So I said, sure.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I work over there about 3 days a week. And while working there, citizens started calling that concerned me because they were victims of burglaries or thefts, and they were not getting the service that they expected or they deserved. And of course, the sheriff's an elected official, and so no one's over him because he's a constitutional officer. He has no one to answer to except the citizens of Covington County. So now I could no longer stand because of my passion, the way I feel, because of what happened to me in my younger life. As you know, when my father was robbed and killed, when we had a store out on 84 East out of Wopp, Rex Warren and Sons. And the reason he started staying at the store because we had been broken into twice, about a month apart. Well, when you have a business like that, you can't afford it. It was supporting families, so you couldn't afford insurance and things like that. So because of him staying there trying to protect our property, he lost his life. And so that's where my desire to serve and protect others, prevent them from having to go through what my family has been through, what I've been through, because I know how it devastates a family. I know the trauma, I know how it affected my younger brothers that turned to alcohol, that turned to drugs, and they went from being a victim to victimizing others because of that. And it's nothing that, I'm not proud of it, but that's just what happened in our lives. And so from that, and having those phone calls, listening to people, and all I can do is sympathize with them because you can't tell the sheriff what to do. I decided, I can't stand back on the sideline anymore. I've got to get in this fight. It's not right. Because if the citizens of Covington County, those have been being victimized, if the people who are appointed to protect and serve them, if they're not getting that service, then it's because those members of the sheriff's department have been failed by their leadership. Because leadership sets the pace and it sets the direction of any organization, whether it be a football team, whether it be a company or organization. If it's failing, it's because of leadership. And who gets replaced? The leadership gets replaced. And to point it back in the direction it needs to be going in. And so, as I say, those men and women, those employees of the sheriff's department, they're a product of their leadership. If they're not being served, it's because leadership, as I say, leadership has failed.
Nickey, you mentioned the one thing that really caught my attention because I know this. You through your family and all, you experience all parts of the law, the judicial, the prison. I mean, the whole thing. So you feel you have compassion to the people.
I have compassion. Believe me, and my main goal has always been to hopefully or try to prevent some family from having to experience what my family has going through. Whether I've accomplished that goal or not, I don't know. But I've tried because, where they'll put someone in jail that was involved in crime that prevented them from taking it to the next level, where they took human life, then I don't know. But that's what I've been up there for, and that's what I've been trying to do.
I'm going to relate this kind of like my brother did when he had cancer. As a deacon, he's always called on to talk to people about when they had cancer. Until you've had it, you don't know what to say.
That's very true.
So it's made his testimony better. So I think it'll make your testimony to those victims better. But you experience it.
Oh yeah, and I understand. I understand the impact of drugs on the family. I know how. There's not much you can do when, as my brother refers to it, my baby brother, who refers to it just as insanity of the drug, and you just do it because of the drug. And we have to. If we're going to be, and I know people get tired of hearing about drugs. That's all they hear.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if you look, 90% of our crime in Covington County is related to drugs, because of people trying to support a habit. They can't work, and so they can't get a job because of that. So they steal to support it. So we have to address the issue we have to attack it from two fronts. We have to address the crime issue, and we have to address the drug issue.
I hope one of the things the president said last night is get a hold of our drug prescriptions and all that, do a better grasp of it, get it more affordable, the regular drugs. That's a problem too. I mean, when people get hooked on pain pills, they'll do anything for them pain pills, won't they?
Very true.
Wow. And that's about as much problem as anything right now. I think one of the leading problems, in fact. Wow. Besides the drugs.
But you got not only is responsible. You can say burglars and thefts. You can say it's responsible for that, but also with that you're encompassing domestics as well. You're encompassing child abuse, whether it be physical or sexual. The result is because of drugs. So there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed that are not being addressed, and that's why I'm about what matters most, and that's protecting, and serving the citizens of Covington County. That's what I've done for 36 plus years of my life, and that's what I would like the opportunity to do again.
Well, I know you would like to keep resource officers in school. That's been one of the best things that ever happened, eh?
Yes, and as I've been out talking to people,
they're concerned, aren't they?
They're concerned about that.
Yeah.
I know that there's one school that does not have a resource officer. Hasn't had one in months.
Oh.
That is an issue.
Yeah.
But the school board, the Covington County School Board, is paying the county part of that for our service.
Yeah.
So, they need to have, the school board needs to have a say in that. You need to form a partnership between the sheriff's department and the school board and let them have a say in who they want in their school system or who they don't. They need to have have a choice. And also, they need to be letting you know, is this person the right fit for this system? You know, what may be a problem in, say, red level may not be a problem at Strong. Or
Yeah,
it
the community
may not be a
environment.
problem there. So that person's got to be that, that's got to come in and fit and adapt. But then also, you know, because they're in that school system, you need to understand whether or not that person's doing what's expected of them.
Oh yeah.
Where they're, you know, protecting, where they're mentoring, where they're establishing those relationships with students, and whether or not, you know, they're putting that information out to the parents. This is the issue. This is the problem. You know, this is what you need to be aware of. And then and also I believe that every 6 weeks when you get a report card, when those students get a report card, you should be getting a report card on whether or not that school resource officers is living up to your expectations or meeting your expectations.
I've noticed the resource officers that do really good in these schools, the kids look up as a father figure, a big brother, a granddad, according to the age of the officer, needs to say, or grandma. There's good ladies that are doing that job too. So, to me, it would be, I guess, a great county retirement job. Boy, that would be good. You know, less hours and all that, but. You know, and that's something that, like you said, you and the school board would have to work out. That's right. But you are right. I think the school board needs to have input.
But you need to form that partnership with the school board, so they can have some input into it as well. And also, you know, with being the sheriff or any department head of any law enforcement officer, you need to form a partnership with the public because the public's the best assets you've got. You know, and I'm aware they went to a digital trunking system now, so the people don't necessarily always, you know, they don't know what's going on. So you've got to re-engage your public. You've got to bring them back in to partner with them. And you've got to be pushing that information out there so they will know what's going on. I have my own opinion about that system, but that's my opinion. But
you don't want me to get mine on this. I'll be nice.
But you know, another thing is when you've done this, you know, as you know, citizens relied on hearing what was going on.
And they were helped, weren't they?
And they will help, and they will call you.
Yeah.
You know, they may not identify who they are, but they will call you and give you the information. And also during times of severe weather, people relied on that. You know, they were getting first-hand information. Now it goes through a process. So there's a lag time there, or delay, of when that information is being pushed out to the citizens when before they were getting it firsthand.
Well, it's kind of like I tell the EMA here in Covington County. I said, all you're doing is recording the weather. We already got it. We already get it way ahead of you even sending it out to me.
True.
Because there's too many other private sources now. So all you're doing is recording and doing the paperwork to get the federal dollars too and all that for acting. So there is a purpose to EMA by all means. Now I'm not against EMA, but it's not what it used to be because they can't get it out as fast as we can get it now.
Right. Very true.
I can sit here and get it a lot quicker. But how about the posse? That's a big help in the sheriff's office,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is. Yes, it is. And they need to be taken care of too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think people understand. You've got what falls under the umbrella of a sheriff. You've got many responsibilities. You've got a sheriff's posse. You've got a sheriff's reserve. And of course, you've got the school resource officers that we've already discussed. But also, you're responsible for the security of the courts. You know, because you are an officer of the court.
And that has picked up a lot. Yeah. Ties up some men, more men than ever right now, doesn't it?
Very true. Because you've got the civil process, you know, I've heard complaints about that, about people's papers not being, you know, civil papers not being served, and they're having to hire private individuals to go serve these papers for them, and that shouldn't be, you know, you're there as a sheriff, you're there to serve. You know, that's what you're there for. And if you're failing to serve, then I believe, like I tell people, hey, if I'm elected sheriff and I don't live up to your expectations, in 4 years, fire me. Okay? And that's me, because, you know, I'll tell you up front, and I've already been told this, that I'm not a politician. I will tell you I'm not a politician. I'm a law enforcement officer. That's what I've been the majority of my adult life.
I like deputies living all over the county. I like that, and I hope that I know you'll want to continue that. I've got one lives in front of my house, you know, on the road. But I think visibility is a big thing, isn't it?
visibility is very big. It's very important.
Yeah.
Because if that criminal element's out seeing those deputies in the areas,
Yeah.
then they're gonna think they're gonna think twice. And what needs to happen, it's like the same way some municipalities set up.
Yeah.
You divide up into zones,
Yeah.
and that way you put a deputy in each zone
Can
during
respond in
their
a hurry.
shift, so
Yeah.
they can respond, do quicker response time.
Yeah.
But also they're being seen in that area, and then also they're responsible for serving the papers, serving warrants. But also the next thing I want to do is what we had done started out years ago is you have school resource officers in those schools,
Yeah.
but then start having the deputies do walkthroughs.
Yeah.
At least once during their shift. Hopefully you'll be able to do it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But that way it gives an extra level of security to that school system, and also it helps familiarize the officers with the layout of the schools.
Right.
So
Right. In case they get
in
called.
case something does happen,
Yeah.
hopefully not. But
Yeah.
but then also once a week or 2
Mhm.
weeks, rotate those deputies to different zones,
Okay.
so that they're getting that experience and they're getting familiar with the people.
Yeah. Yeah. We hope we never have to get called to a school, but it can happen, and we need to be aware of that by all means. There's a senior posse too, a senior citizen
Mhm.
that goes around checking these alert things, and I found out because Herb Judd, your buddy too, was one of those early ones that
Right.
signed on with that. Some of those folks, that's the only visit they got during that whole month.
Right.
So they didn't just change the battery, they socialized a little while. That's important, isn't it?
And that's a great asset, and they need to be utilized. And
Mhm.
also think about
Mhm.
having the ability to, if you're on vacation,
Yeah,
to have those, knowing that your house is going to be checked.
yeah.
To have, whether we do it,
Pull the knob. I mean, they're going to check, yeah.
whether we set something up online, a form
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you can fill it out and
Yeah,
submit it
yeah,
for a home check.
Yeah.
While you're on vacation.
yeah,
Give us contact numbers.
yeah,
Let us know if you got pets or
yeah.
something's going to be attended to. Let us know who's going to be coming over, what kind of vehicle.
Make
Yeah,
sure it's
that's a
happening.
plus.
Making sure it happens.
And it gives you the ability while you're away to give you peace of mind to be able to enjoy your vacation instead of having to worry about whether or not,
Yeah.
while you're on vacation, am I being victimized? Is someone burglarizing my home and stealing my property?
Yeah, I ran into Herb's driving partner several months ago and telling me how much he missed Mr. Herb, and I said, well, I miss seeing you at the radio station too, coming by, and I understand he's still doing some of that. Man, them senior citizens love doing that, don't they?
They love doing it. They've got the time,
Yeah.
and they still want to be involved.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the community. Because they have a heart of passionate service, as I do. Because as
Yeah.
long as there's breath in the body, you serve.
It gives you eyes. That's the most important about it, is the eyes.
Very true. You cannot have enough assets. The more you have, the better off you are. Yeah.
Well, I know the county is overloaded, just like OP is overloaded now, because state troopers are so short. When there's an accident occurs, thank God our county or our city will go and preserve the wreck. And but it ties up hours, don't it?
It does. And I know that's one of the things that's been addressed, but is it, you have to look, you have to think about how much personnel do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a necessity?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing it as a necessity, or is it a matter of convenience?
Mhm.
You have to look at that, because you only have so many personnel to work
That's
with.
right.
And if they're tied up with those wrecks,
Mhm.
you've still got calls coming in. You still
Mhm.
got domestics and
Mhm.
calls for service, and they've still got
Mhm.
address.
Mhm.
So you have to step back and look and see, is it feasible or is it not feasible?
Right. Mm. I hope they have a big hire. They've hired some more. We got some. Oh, we got one. We got a couple local boys that made
Very true.
troopers now,
Two good, fine young men.
and I'm sure we could call on them anytime we need them. Yeah, them the hosses. They're good guys.
But I will say this, though,
Uh-huh.
about traffic accidents.
Uh-huh.
When you have, I worked as an investigator. I spent 15 years in investigation. But when you have an accident
Mhm.
involving a fatality,
Mhm.
you need to partner with the state,
Mhm.
because that is a homicide.
Yeah.
It is a traffic homicide,
Mhm.
and you have a responsibility be involved in it.
Mhm.
Come out and work side by side
Mhm.
with the troopers investigating that wreck.
Mhm.
Think about, you have to, because you have to consider,
Mhm.
if you've got someone that's under the influence of
Mhm.
alcohol or controlled substance,
Mhm.
then that trooper may be hour or two away that's going to work the
That's
accident.
right.
So you need to be involved. Go ahead and
Make that test.
make that test, get those samples, because as time slipping going by, you're losing evidence. You're losing a lot of things. But you have to secure that scene also and make sure you have control of that scene and control it. But you also need to come on. I guarantee you, they're not going to complain if you're there doing that. They're not going to. They're going to appreciate your help.
In fact, that's a wording that we use now, and a lot of times we'll say Covington County or Op Police secured the scene and worked by Alabama State Troopers. We will actually say that because they need credit for because you tied up man hours.
Very true.
And a good chance of being in court too. On top of that, so that's something else. Court time ties up the officers a lot too.
You have no control over that.
No.
I mean, you've got to come testify. You make those cases. You've got to testify. So, that's something you have no control over. But you've got to. But the thing is, you've got to make sure that the cases they're testifying to, they've well documented.
Oh yeah.
They've got thorough reports. Everything's well documented, and so they can offer exact and precise testimony.
A lot of times now, though, the officer will still work and he'll be on call, and they'll call him in, isn't that, instead of just tying him up all day long. Well, that would be boring. Well, I know that one of the things I mean, you talked about it before we got on there. One of the issues is food in the jail. Years ago, I was one of those, you ought to feed better, you ought to feed better, you ought to feed better, better food than that and all. Then it came to me, well, you feed them too good, they may not want to get out. So there's got to be a balance, hasn't there?
There's got to be a balance, but it's just a moral and ethical issue. Just because they're in jail, I mean, they don't lose the basic necessities or needs of life. So
Right.
They need to be adequately fed. And also, the other thing I think of is like, what I want to do too with the jail is where you've got individuals who that are being arrested, that are being charged, that have addiction issues, and they're going in and they can't make bond. Instead of letting them sit there for a year and a half before their case makes it through the system, and then they're sent to rehab, let's start working with them on the front end. Let's start trying to turn them around. I've heard pros and cons about rehab, but I look at it this way, and you can agree or disagree. But if you send 12 people to rehab, and out of that 12 it changes one, then you got to realize that's a win for that person, that's a win for that person's family, that's a win for the justice system and law enforcement. Because now, instead of having negative interaction with that individual, we can now have a positive interaction.
We got a friend, and I say we because we see him in church together. He said the 7th time took. So you don't ever give up on
You
it.
don't ever give up.
The 7th time took, and it took on this one the 7th time. So you don't give up.
No, you don't give up.
Rehab will work. It may not work that first time. You hear the bad about it not working that first and second time.
But sometimes it takes more than 1 or 2 times, for it to work. Because you hope at some point that the person's going to get to.
They got to get sincere.
They want to get to a point in their life where enough's enough. I can't keep going down this path, or it's going to kill me. And I want to do better.
Same as I'm very open about this. I'm an alcoholic, and until I got serious about it, I couldn't control it. But once you get serious and admit it, and then it's a lot easier after that. And I think same thing in drugs and all that. You got to admit it, and people will help you.
But how much better would it be to start working with them on the front end?
Oh, I think
instead
so.
of waiting a year or so down the road.
In other words, we need more programs in the jail itself so they can start.
There's people that will come in that will volunteer to do that. Work with them in small groups on one-on-one. Whatever it takes to try to turn them around.
I'm sure they are because you got plenty of ministers always wanting to come in, and jail ministers. I know from other sheriffs, not even this one. I mean other sheriffs. You sometimes have to wave the ministers out a little bit too. But that's just a human call, isn't it?
Right. I mean, you've got to sit there and you've got to vet what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
What programs work and what programs don't work.
Yeah.
And then you've got to also see who's really sincere and who's not. Who just wants to play it thinking, well, I'm going to get a better deal on my sentence, and who's really sincere about wanting to change their life.
The old joke, jailhouse religion.
Very true.
Well, But it does. There again, one of our good friends. He's not in our church anymore, but that's where he got saved. There's no doubt about it, and he has really done good since then.
Very true.
So don't. The key is don't give up on them, isn't it?
Don't give up. I can tell you from experience, don't give up.
Goes back to the Bible there. Forgive and forgive and forgive. Man, and that's the way law officing is somewhat, isn't it? You have to keep just. You get to know some of them too good.
Yeah, you do.
But you feel for them, don't you?
You feel for them because they get trapped in a vicious cycle. They just can't break it.
Mm-hmm.
And you hope that at some point, some event, some occurrence will cause them to come out of that cycle.
I know one of my little friends I've tried to help raise. Walt is forgave her. Good report. She's out west now and doing great.
Awesome.
Managing of a restaurant and all that. But Walt gave her breaks. I never thought he would. Man. But he said I can see something good in her.
Yeah. Well, Walt's a very compassionate person when it comes to that.
Yeah.
He's had his experiences, and so he wants to, we want to try to help because, like I say, as I said, it's just insanity of the drug. Once it gets a hold of it doesn't want to turn loose, and then it takes control of it.
Yeah. Visibility at ball games, basketball and football. I think basketball is even more important than football because you're in that enclosed environment that tempers sometimes fly too quick.
Yeah, I know we had more issues with basketball games than we did football here, but you have to have people there.
Yeah.
You got, like I said, you got 5 county schools, so
Yeah.
It's a daunting task. But as a leader,
Yeah.
you've got to make sure that the people are protected. They're protecting their served. And one of the things that I did, I got out and worked too.
Yeah,
Just because I was the boss didn't mean I was exempt from working.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lead from the front,
You got to be
you
out
got
there
to be
too.
working because usually, and that included holidays as well. Because usually, if I was shorthanded, it was always going to be on an evening shift, a night shift. So that's sometimes I'd wind up pulling 24-hour shifts.
Are you going to be a suit and tie sheriff or uniform?
I'm a uniform. I like I say, I am a law enforcement officer, and I wear a uniform because I want people to see when something's going on and there's a crowd, they want to be able to look around and see who's in charge, who do I need to go to.
I guess the uniform, they see an officer in present, and I think that's a big deterrent right there. Yeah. We've had both kinds of sheriffs, but I think you really need to be in uniform, and especially at social events like that. Yeah. There's a time for coat and tie. He's got one on today. He dressed up for radio. He had no idea what to expect from me. That's what it was.
I want people to know I'm a professional. So, if you're going to be professional, you've got to look the part. So.
All right, Nick. We know each other so well. I hate that, but there's people going to be watching the video.
Right.
Tell me who Nickey Carnley is and about your family.
Okay. Nickey Carnley was born in Opp. He attended Fleda School till the 8th grade. Then he attended Opp High School. He graduated from Opp High School in 1977. My father is the late Rex Carnley, and my mother is Helen Marie Carnley. After I graduated high school, I was looking at pursuing a career in one direction. Went through those events. If you'd have told me then I was going to be a law enforcement officer, I'd tell you you're nuts. But through those events, I got sent down another path. And it's and now as I look back on it, you see that you see the Lord's hand within it. This is where He guided me. This is where He wanted me. And I just have a heart of compassion to serve. To me, the citizens matter. And I want, and like my platform is community, integrity, commitment, and that I want to embrace all the community. I want to be there serving, but also integrity. I want to be open and transparent. I want to be. I'm one of those people. If we mess up, if we make a mistake, I'm gonna tell you yes. But here's what we're gonna do to correct it. See it doesn't happen again. And give you an example of that when Jay Thomas was the editor of Op News, he called me one day and he says, "I've got a lady that's wrote a letter about a negative letter about the police department." He says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Jay, I want you to print it."
Sure.
He says, "Well, I don't know issue between me and you." I said, "Look, Jay, there's not going to be any issue between me and you because I believe that people
Right to vent.
duty, the right to vent, to speak their piece. I said, so, you know, put it in there. There's not going to be no problem because that's, you know, our freedoms are the most important because a lot of men and women have sacrificed for these freedoms that we have. And so we need to exercise it. And then commitment. And I want to be committed to serving and protecting the citizens of Covington County. I want to be there for them. You know, when I was chief, if someone called and they wanted to talk to me, if they couldn't come to the police department, I would arrange a time I could go to them.
Yeah.
Now, we may agree to disagree, but we had a civil communications, you know, and we left. And I still consider myself, no matter how they felt about me,
Sure.
I still consider them to be my friend because when you're the head, when you're head of the department, you can't be biased. You can't have, you know, ill feelings towards someone.
Can't take it personal.
You can't take it personal.
Yeah.
Because when you step in that seat, you should fully understand and know the responsibilities and what you're getting into.
Well, now, you know, you made one good choice in life. Your wife.
Yeah, I forgot about her. I'm probably going to get in trouble about that.
You made one good choice in life.
I did.
You may not have made some other bad choices, but you made one good choice.
Well, I worked for the police department for about 2 years, and then Don Harrell was elected sheriff. He asked me to come work for him. So during my course of duty with the sheriff's department, I met his daughter Dawn, and we were married. And through that marriage, we've been blessed with two fine boys, Zach and Sean.
You got one serving our country.
And one is in the United States Marine.
Yeah.
He is.
We're all proud of him.
We are too. So, great. Couldn't have, you know, kind of took us, blindsided us with it, but you know, he had talked about it, but didn't think he was going to be really serious. And then he committed to it. So
he's serious, boy.
He's serious.
When he's home, he's serious.
Oh, yes. He is.
Yeah. Big positive change for him.
Oh, yes.
Great for him. He's going to be a leader in something when he gets his 20 years out.
He needs to wait for his daddy to get out of the way first before he
Well, Nickey, let's see. Have you got your Facebook page going for Sheriff?
I do have a Facebook page, Carnley for Sheriff.
Okay.
Facebook page. You're welcome to come over and join me. And I'll respond. I'm still trying to get the hang of that Facebook thing. So,
welcome to the club.
Since I've sit in this arena, I have had to embrace social media, so I'm steadily. It's a slow process, but we get there.
Wife is doing it.
Who told you?
He's amazing what I know. But thank good for her. That's good for her. And of course, anybody that wants to join the campaign, just contact you.
Just contact me, send me a message through Facebook.
You
I'll
do.
Get back with them.
You do need manpower is a big thing in the Senate.
You know, I've got some great people helping me, so you know we're slowly getting out there. We're slowly, you know, getting around, and I'm one of those people. If I go to somebody wants to talk to me, I go to them talk, and they want to talk. I'm not one. I'm gonna stand there. I'm gonna listen to them, and if they have questions, about how I'm going to lead, what I'm going to do, I take the time to talk to them. I'm not one of those people who just walk in and say, "Give me consideration," and move on. I'm just not like that.
And you're still working right now, so remember that the 2 or 3 days he's working. He can't campaign while he's working.
I can't campaign on a job, and I tell you, you get some funny looks sometimes when you walk in a restaurant or you walk by people. It's like, well, is he going to speak to me or not? Well, like when I'm on the job, I can't do that.
Can you tell you? Well, I'm not campaign. I'm working. I can't campaign.
Yes,
you can say that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that helps a little bit right there. But yeah, because some people get offended.
Yeah, they do.
But I wanted to bring that out now. He is working about 3 days a weekend.
Correct.
And he cannot campaign while he's working at all. And I mean, that's an ethics thing.
Yes, I got to make that money. It costs a lot to run for public office.
Love followers are welcome.
Yes, they are. They are very much welcome and appreciated.
You didn't know I'd ask for you. Well, Nickey, we wish you the best. And, of course, we're going to have you back numerous times before the election. When is election, by the way?
June the 5th.
It'll be here before you know it, though.
It will
be honest, it'll be here before you know it. I'm sure you'll be at the Rattlesnake Rodeo shaking hands.
I will be at the Rattlesnake Rodeo.
That's a great place to do it, isn't it?
Yes.
You get to see a lot of people one lick.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of old friends too.
Yeah. In fact, the whole month of March, because of the race, because of the big auction with the co-op, well, y'all gonna have some great places to campaign.
Yeah.
See a lot of folks. We're gonna see some folks that can't vote in the Covington County, but that's part of it too, isn't it?
Very true.
Be nice to all of them. Well, Nickey, we wish you the best, and of course, anything we can do for you here at WOPB, we're only a phone call. Now that I get his phone calls, and we and you had an issue there, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought.
You thought I was blocking you out,
I
didn't
was
you?
beginning to think you was playing me there.
So now we got the lady for sure. Miss Harper can make sure I get it.
That's who I went through. I said, he'll talk to you, he won't talk to me.
It wasn't on purpose. So I have no idea. I got one in Texas that you told me. I got it finally
Really?
after me and you talked. I have no idea why it was held up.
You know, technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
You know, that's something else I want to say.
Okay.
One more thing I want to say is, you know, because of the way things are now with digital and digital information, digital technology, you know, what I want to do is take someone there at the Sheriff's Department that can, and have them forensically trained and certified so that they can testify and they can recover the data, because now a lot of crimes, we have a lot of digital evidence there also. And you know, a lot of times we're having to send that to which is SBI, State Bureau of Investigation, or some of the other forensic labs that do that for law enforcement. So there's a delay. You know, they may be, you know, they do a great job of getting to it as quick as they can, but sometimes you may have a 3 or 4 week, a month delay. And a lot of times you need that evidence right then. So that's something else I want to do.
And I know the predators on these young girls. I know one incident through the county and through the city and through the state and through the feds. They finally got the guy, but it took about a year. It's not overnight, is it?
No, it's not. And sometimes that's something else. You need somebody that can be looking for that information, because a lot of times your threats come through social media.
Yeah.
So when those threats, whether it be a threat against a school or a church or an organization, then you need somebody that can go ahead and start getting it, tracking it down, getting on it right then, because you don't need to wait. You need to hit it right there.
You just mentioned something there, church. Aren't you proud our churches here in Opp have been pro about the safety?
Yes, I am.
I mean, just about all our big churches got pro. And I know some of the smaller are still looking at things, what they can do, but the big churches have jumped on it in a hurry, haven't they?
They sure have. And, you know, that's something that we take for granted this day and time. But instead of the responsibilities of law enforcement being lessened, they continue to increase. There's more and more being put on law enforcement.
Yeah. Well, Nickey, I've enjoyed it, and the best luck out there. And I know you got to see a lot of folks. You got to learn some folks on that other side of the county, hadn't you? Actually relearn a lot of them, because you was over that way when you was a deputy.
I have.
So
I've got to. But, you know, as I get out and about and I meet and I see them again, they start reminding me.
They're telling stories on you. Huh?
We've had positive interaction with most of them I talk to so far, so I'm thankful for that. But they remember who I am.
Well, you got an icon out there that's campaigning for you, Mr. Don,
and also Bill Shaw. Let's not forget
Bill's out there too.
Let's not take Bill for granted.
The old man can get out and still.
He can do it.
Oh, he's my buddy. You know, we're buddies at Doc's when we can get out there. Well, enjoyed it much, buddy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Rob.
Good this fall.